Today we're going to be talking about intuitive eating. What exactly is it, and is it good for weight loss? So let's get into it. Intuitive eating is a shift from diet culture. This is a shift from being on autopilot of, I can't eat this, I can't eat that, this is good food, this is bad food, and really understanding your hunger cues and being more in tune with your body and the signals that it's giving you. When we talk about diet culture, we're talking about fad diets, we're talking about restrictive calories, we're talking about different types of food groups, whether it's good or it's bad or it's high calorie or it's saturated fat or all of these other things, too sugary, all of that stuff is. Now, I've talked about mindfulness in my other videos. It's super important when you are eating and you are trying to lose weight that you become in tune with your body. And you know what? Scratch that. Not even just to lose weight, but to live a healthier, more fulfilled life and not to have an obsessive idea about food where you're constantly thinking about it. Usually what happens when you're on a diet is you are constantly thinking about food. When is my next meal coming? How much can I eat? What can I eat? Do I have to track it? All of those things, where intuitive eating is now based around, what do I need to fuel my body? What is going to make me perform at my optimal level? Whether it's in the gym, whether it's at work, whether it's mentally, emotionally, or physically, it's more about nourishing your body and listening to what it needs and wants at that very moment. Now, that doesn't mean that we overeat and we binge on a cake, right? What that means is that when you are on a diet, you are restricting certain foods. The dialogue that you probably have with yourself, I know for myself, I've had this before, is I can't have that. For about, 20 years of my life, I was like, oh, I can't have pizza. As much as I love pizza, I can't have pizza because it's too high calorie. Because intuitive eating is really about using all of your sensories to enjoy the food that's in front of you. When you eat, it should be a process of putting your fork down, having a conversation. There should be no distractions around. When you sit in front of the TV and you eat, or you're eating while you're on your phone, you are likely to eat about 25% more food than if you were not distracted. So put the phone away, turn off the TV, sit down, use the food as a sensory experience to really enjoy it. Taste it, taste the textures, taste the temperature of the food, taste the spices that are used. And now you will actually become fuller faster. Most people, I know for myself, that I can slam down a lunch in like 7 minutes flat, probably even faster than that. It takes about 20 minutes for your brain to tell your stomach that you're full. That's when you start to get the I'm full cues. You start to feel a little bit, are you full to the point of being comfortable, or are you full to the point of being uncomfortable? Some of the questions that you should be asking yourself while you're eating are, am I satisfied? Have I put down my fork to take a drink of water, seltzer, what have you? Did I eat all the food on my plate because I felt like I needed to? Or did I eat all the food on my plate because I needed the nourishment? So those are all questions that should be happening throughout the entire process of you eating. And this is why the mindfulness part comes into it, because the mindfulness, once you start practicing it, I know in the beginning it's going to be super hard, right? Especially if you've kind of trained your body to automatically think this food is bad, this food is good, I need to eat more salad, I need to eat less pizza. Like that type of emotional and psychological stress, it takes a long time for it to kind of dissipate and fall to the wayside, and for now you to be mindful and listen to your hunger cues and listen to your body and listen to what it needs. With intuitive eating, your body is no longer, or should be no longer, on autopilot. Autopilot is like, yes, salad is good, pizza is bad. Now it's more about the nutrients of the food instead of can't have this, can have that. The other thing too is that the reason why I do enjoy intuitive eating is because if you've noticed, diet culture can work for a handful of months, right? You meet a person who they've done keto and they've lost 20 pounds, 30 pounds, 40 pounds, what have you. That's amazing, right? Like if that's you, you've done an amazing job. But what tends to happen is that over the long period of time, in 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, 8 years plus, have you kept off all of that weight, right? Probably not. Usually what happens is that when you follow such a restrictive diet, people over the long term end up gaining about 20% of the weight that they lost back. And I know that's not what we're trying to do here. The other thing too is that with restrictive diets, when we have an idea in our head that the food that we're about to eat is bad, we then, after we've eaten it, we then now feel guilty. It leads to shame. I shouldn't have had that. Why did I eat that? Why did I have so much? And when you've restricted that one food for so long, or those handful of foods for so long, now when it is in front of you and you do want to have it, it's like tenfold. Instead of having one piece of cake, it's now 10 pieces of cake. And that can then lead to shame, guilt. It also leads to a vicious cycle of, I should never eat again, right? Or tomorrow I'm not eating anything. Like the cake needs to go in the garbage, and all of these things that in actuality, if you were to listen to your body and be mindful of your eating habits and be mindful of your hunger cues and try intuitive eating, that thought process and that vicious cycle is actually quieted. And now it's, okay, I had that one piece of cake and I really enjoyed it. And I only ate half of it because, you know what, I enjoyed it so much I became full, and now I can move on with my life instead of tomorrow being like, I can't eat this, I can't eat that, I can't eat the other, I need to starve myself today. And lastly, I'm not gonna lie to you, mindfulness is not easy. In the beginning, it seems as if it's impossible. You've conditioned your body to the restrictive diets, and now it's become like, I really need to focus and I really need to hone in and really connect back to myself and my ideas around food. If you can be mindful 95% of the time, you will see a huge difference in your goals, whether it's about feeling better, more energy, whether it's about a weight loss. You will see weight loss with intuitive eating. It may not be as significant as you would like it to be. But right now we're talking about progress, not perfection. So the progress of creating the habit of being more mindful is really important. And don't give up on it. I promise, it will be better. You will feel better mentally and emotionally and physically when you are more in tune with your hunger cues, you are more in tune with your body, and you understand when you binge. Why do you binge? That all comes back to being more mindful. That's all for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it gave you some good content about intuitive eating, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.